updates here while we back up this camera. Sometimes I forget. So we are going to introduce Match Ready, which is the blue team on the left-hand side here. Sonya being played by Grace, Li Ming being played by Cold Fashion, ETC being played by Teal, Greymane being played by Sugar Bear, and Anna being played by Paperwall. Now, on the side of Minion Miners, you have Deathwing being played by Himibo, Falstad being played by Murderin, Ragnaros being played by Marshall, Brightwing being played by Westgraw, and Lunara being played by Senior Mac of Cheese. Good luck to both teams here. So we are going to see potentially a standard 5v5 in mid, see who can pull out here. Now, you know, it really comes down to see how this Falstad plays on the side of Minion Miners too, because they have so much wave clear. But you could have, you know, Brightwing, you could have your Falstad sitting in mid, consistently soaking, right? And can go top mid anytime they want. So we are going to get a nice clear. Deathwing is just going to use his flamethrower and completely obliterate the wave here. And then here we go. You got teams starting to rotate here. Lunara heading down bottom, or should be heading down bottom, but you're going to have Falstad going straight top here while seeing Grace, the Sonya player, soaking. And ETC is going to sniff out the Deathwing. But he's going to slide away, just try not taking any free damage, leaving his soaking bottom. You know what's funny is I'm starting to think that the Ragnaros is the main tank here. Because that's going to be so annoying. It's like back when like Imperius, and I think Imperius, you know, it can still be played as a main tank, depending on the comp here. So both teams immediately start taking camp right at the 1 minute marker. Excellent stuff here. So both teams are going to have a great cycle rotation for the next objective. Everyone is in lane soaking here, and you see Cold Fashion pulling the minions to try stalling out the waves here to the left, and to also negate some damage here, and potentially try to freeze it. Himibo the Deathwing is just going to obliterate, roast spit the minion waves up top. Now, both camps have been taken about 2 seconds apart. Not really big of a deal here. So again, we have 1 minute and 20 seconds. So yeah, by the time the first objective spawns, you will see the camps back up, and let's see if it's prioed yet again. Greymane did get slept, but immediately, or Greymane did get polymorph, and gets polymorphed again. They're trying to just poke him down, but you have an Anna just poke healing him right back up. Here comes the stun to Lunara. Should just potentially start poking here, but no, Greymane is just fine. You know, just needs to just dodge some of the skill shots that he can, like the Deathwing, and you'll be fine. You have Anna behind you, healing you up, and you're just clearing out the mid lane here. And let's see how bottom's looking here. Wow, ooh, they are poking really heavily at the mid gate, actually, before we move down. ETC is just trying to create some space and potentially might be taking a little bit too much damage here. Some of that was completely unnecessary, and he's holding tap here because he understands that the next objective here, and great sleep by the Anna here, goes right towards Lunar, but Brightwing follows up with a polymorph. But look at the value. Look at the value that they got in mid. So Brightwing is going to go top to go towards the Murden, and not bad idea, because with the level 1 talent here, it's fine that it was wasted. Heals up your Murden, and at this point, you know, with... Ooh, pause. Okay, so we have a pause here, but as we were trying to finish up what we were saying here, the Brightwing went top, and it was soaking, and would get the cooldown back, and you're basically, most likely your Falstad to rotate back mid. All right, looks like they are ready. 3, 2, 1, baby. And Li Ming, you know, soaking, but look at the structure damage here, right? You have more than half of the fort wall gone. You have the gate gone here. It's a lot of damage here, but you know, XP lead wise, it's, you know, slightly in favor of Match Ready, but still, that structure over time is still really good. And thank you so much, Sergeant Scoops, for the raid. I really appreciate you, and I hope that you had a great cast well. But you're gonna see a power slide onto the Lunar here, who's caught up in mid, and Greymane completely annihilates the deer. See you later, Lunara. Back to the Nexus here, and we're gonna have Brightwing and Deathwing trying to start their camp again. But with that kill, you're gonna start seeing the Anna going towards the first objective, try getting some poke in. The Anna does secure it before the Rag can negate it, but you are going to have a camp prio in mid. It's okay, right? You have time, but Match Ready is going to hit 7 first, but, you know, you're really not far if you're on the side of Minion Miners. Plus, this camp will do a lot for you in mid. Sonya is just kind of chilling in the back line here, while the Li Ming is going to soak up bot lane here. But again, this will be a nuisance. Oh, wait, actually, I thought they were going to take that way faster. Nope. Okay, so if you're on the side of Match Ready, excellent stuff. You got 7 first. You got the first objective. That camp took a lot longer than I anticipated. I could have sworn, right? I could have sworn that would have made it there a lot quicker. But here we go. On the side of Match Ready, you have the first objective coming down. Let's see how much structure damage you can get here. the mid wave, you know, let that crash in. You'll get a free clear on that. Nice sidestep by everyone. ETC looking for a power slide on the Lunara here, but Lunara does get away to the right wing polymorph, and Ana Sleep hits the Deathwing but doesn't do anything. And they are going to tap before this because it might look like a fight. 3v3 down mid. Right wing's polymorph is up, so if Greymane commits, Wesker is just going to camp to focus out the Brightwing. And see, here we go. Here comes a ETC power slide, but the Greymane should be able to come onto the Lunara, but Lunara does Z. There is no interrupt. I believe the ETC used his sound speaker, or I think his loudspeaker or sound speaker. Well, you know, that's okay. You know, Lunara wasn't really that low anyway, but let's look at the structure damage here. We didn't get anything in mid. Grace is getting gang. Okay, so they got some structure damage up top, and we should see some here. Martel is completely caught out and killed by the Li Ming's Calamity with Power Hungry. A lot of damage here. Deathwing comes down bottom to soak up the rest of the XP here, and is going to try defending as much as he can, but there's only one person down here. If you're on the side of match ready, you can look aggressive here. I don't know if Paperwall understands that you cannot sleep a Deathwing. That is the third time I've seen him do the sleep dart at the Deathwing. I hope he does not continuously do that, because that will bite him in the butt later. So we are going to see Greymane and Ana on the camps again, but if you're on the side of Minion Miners, you have one camp rotation ahead of the side of match ready. It adds up over time with XP, but you know, in your side of match ready, you had the objective, so it really didn't matter, but just calling it out. So lanes are now neutralizing here, and here comes a Ragnaros. Might have been used maybe not. If it reaches 10-0 or 605, you have the next minion wave. Let's see here. Oh no, it'll hit. Yeah, 602. Okay, good timing. Just want to make sure. But here comes Ragnaros getting caught out and sleeped immediately. Caught out. ETC, great catch with the follow-up bullet by Sugar Bear. Blown up. Right wing could not negate that. And 3v4 turned into a 3v3 real fast. Li Ming is now rotating here, and Sonya is doing a lot of damage up top. Looking at the well for the next objective here. Great stuff. That's a lot. That will do a lot for the side of match ready. Sonya's just going to soak, and Lunar should not be able to kill the Sonya here. And Sonya's in a really good spot here, doing so much damage. Let's see the soak here. But yeah, Sonya is absolutely leading the charge here in XP compared to Falstad. Okay, so compared to the Ragnaros and Falstad, but over time, as we'll see, the Ragnaros may end up having more soak solely due to his ult, right? Lava Wave does a lot for the team here. Will do a lot for the team here. So as you see, Deathwing landed in mid, wants to protect mid, and here comes the camp skin. 10 seconds or 15 seconds, just like the objective is coming up here. But Lunara might die here. Sonya did commit, but does Sonya die for this? Oh no, Falstad E the other way, but doesn't matter yet. He'll be able to get out. And ETC goes back in the seething cast of Falstad here. I thought I heard for some reason I thought I heard a mosh pit come out, but I'm glad it might have been just the sound animation from when ETC slid in. But excellent stuff. You had a great pick on Lunara, good intuition and engage by the Sonya to take out the Lunara. So you now have the objective going continuously over to the side of match ready here. ETC and Greymane are going to look to do some damage here while the Deathwing is low. ETC is taking tower shots here. They are poking down, and here comes a lava wave yet again. Same time as always. You're gonna get a lot of value up top, and look at Ragnaros down bottom doing a lot. Could potentially get a fort down there, but you're getting the objective on the side of match ready. Sonya is just here just to make sure they secure this. You could probably peel away if you're Sonya now. Don't really need to be here. Just make sure you secure the objective here, and you are on the side of Minion Miners. You are going to secure the bot fort. Pretty good. I mean, even though you lost the objective, you did get the first fort of the game, so props to you. But we should see the top fort fall secondary. Ooh, let's look at the alts here while we have a little bit of time. Leap, as we saw, that was killed on the Lunara here. You have a great wave of force combo potential. Mosh Pit, Bullet, and Nano Boost. Pretty standard talents here with Bellowed of Roar, which is your fear talent to disengage the ETC, while ETC was looking for an aggressive play on the right wing, rightfully so. Could have been really spicy here. We've seen the Lava Wave, Gust for great disengages, but hasn't really seen any value just yet. You also have Emerald Wind to help the negate of damage to the side of match ready if it gets too much, and you have Leap to get away Unfortunately, Lunara couldn't have used that earlier. So looks like Minion Miner is going to use Rag to stop the bottom from pushing here. This could be a little, that's a lot of damage coming out from the Deathwing here. Can they do anything? That's a big chunk damage to the ETC and Greymane here. They do save the fort here. And here comes Falstad flying to mid to cast a soak in mid. So from that objective here, it seems to be very equal, right? You have your Ragnaros who committed bottom to get that fort, and all you got on the side of Match Ready was just some lane pressure, but you got the top fort that was basically gone. And now you're gonna get an immediate boss response. So let's see if the side of Match Ready, let's see if they call that out, let's figure it out. ETC does come in aggressively. Maybe could have got some near Lunara. Wasn't target, but ETC gets punished. Stepping up really high. I didn't really see the healer really behind him, but he gets locked down and shut down. Tried to CC out the Brightwing, and mainly the Lunara who dove past him. Was not, you know, in that situation, not a bad idea to obviously slide backwards to negate the pressure that is going to be behind you, which would have been the Lunara. And now you have Boss going down, pressuring the bottom keep. So because of that bot fort play by Marshall playing Ragnaros here, now you have pressure on the bot keep wall. Now it is a 10-minute and 30-second boss here, but this should, you know, get you a lot. You know, you're at least going to get some chip damage on the keep here. And this is where Falstad is going to shot, but you're having to complete engage onto the Lunara here, and ETC goes in and slides, but doesn't mosh pit here. I didn't see it. There's someone else underneath him. But see, here comes Falstad waiting to join the team fight here, looking for a gust. So you have all the ults used on the side of Match Ready, and you have only 2 used on the side of Minion Miners. But Ragnaros, in my opinion, that's more or less just for continuously soaking. As we're seeing here, look at the XP difference, right? Like, as we were talking about, Match Ready had the XP lead earlier, but with the comp that Minion Miners has over time, you should see an XP lead due to the amount of macro and the amount of pressure in the lanes that you have. You have your Ragnaros ult, you have 3 globals, excuse me. There's just a lot. Grace goes in to connects onto the Deathwing here, but they're going to try blowing up Deathwing. Deathwing immediately gets obliterated here due to the bullet and Li Ming nano boost here. Great call out on the side of Match Ready. Deathwing was completely obliterated just because he was stuck in the conflagration Q mode here, and it takes a second, but that 1-2 second variable is enough to blow up any target with that comp style here. That man went from 100 to 0 in probably 1.5 seconds. Deathwing should be able to be back up, and there should be another contesting. Ults are now back up. So the side of Match Ready, if you look at their ults, right? Their ults are very low cooldown. Which is really good about their comp, right? They have a lot of power with that. Though here comes an engage on the side of Minion Miners. They're trying to try getting on Grace here. Should leap away. That's worth, you know, just get out of there. And they are going to start pressuring top Boss. Grace does call out that Boss is going to be pressured here. Wesker immediately steps up to Polymorph. You should potentially, they're going to stick it out. They're going to stick out the objective here. Bottom is pushing really heavily due to the Ragnaros here, but you are going to secure top Boss. Great stuff on the side of Minion Miners. They understand, hey, we're going to lose the objective here, but let's trade, right? Let's get the Boss. We have Ragnaros alt down bottom, so that way the objective won't get far in the bot lane, and now you have Boss that the objective will have to help defend. So the only lane that you have pressured now is mid, and guess where they're all at on the side of Minion Miners? They're all mid, and they're going to defend mid very well here. So again, another objective taken, but nothing was really done. However, top is being stalled, right, as we can see here. So let's see, can they do anything with top? They see Ragnaros down bottom. They're potentially looking to gank Ragnaros. You know, quite honestly, you could potentially look to either clear this, but ETC does sniff this out, and there is no negate. And here comes Brightwing. Is gonna be caught inside of the mosh pit here. This should be a 2-man wipe here. Yes, great stuff. Great ETC mosh pit here. And that is the unfortunate part about the Brightwing here. If one person gets caught out by the ETC and you start to teleport in to save your teammate, you're basically caught in the same situation as your teammate. So great ult on the side of Match Ready, completely demolishing those two, Ragnos and Brightwing here. And let's see, you did get a kill down bottom. You're probably gonna start getting some chip damage. And again, I don't think the Ana understands that you can't sleep the Deathwing. I'm glad you're hitting them though. I'm glad your accuracy is good. There might be something I don't know about. Or there might be for memes here. Let's look at top here. So top did get some value here, right? Clear top, you got chip damage on the cannon, and you also got a gate out of it. Now, with two of them still down, you might be able to put some pressure in the mid fort here. Looks like Cold Fashion is going to just poke it down a little bit. Li Ming is a great sieger, but they're going to prioritize their siege camp here. Is a race fort 20 here. Those two kills during the objective really turned it around for XP wise, but again, if you're on the side of Minion Miners, you have a nice you have a nice cushion hold here. You have, again, your Falstad, Ragnos, Brightwing, Deathwing. Like, they're all, it's just super annoying from the side of Match Ready, because no matter how far you get in XP, right, there's, by draft, right, Minion Miners should be ahead if they're soaking correctly, because where they can be and how their abilities work here. But outside of Match Ready, you're really not doing that bad. They're looking for a pre-20 fight here, potentially. They do see the Lunara down bottom. They don't know, I do not think they know where Rag's at, but instantly gets an Emerald Wind. Ooh, that might have been a little too much on the side of Minion Miners. Emerald Wind was kind of like, well, if the Falstad's going to use the Gust, I'm going to use it too. And whoa, that is a lot of abilities on the side of Minion Miners being used, but can they do anything with it? Because the Greymane was kind of caught out, and here comes a Li Ming Nano here. I mean, you could completely disengage. No, it doesn't even matter, because you now have the ETC sliding in, the catching the Falstad here, but the ETC is taking way too much damage from the tower shots here, and Greymane and the entire team at Match Ready are diving into the fort. Now, Greymane might be caught out a little bit, is stunned, immediately stunned. So does a 1 for 2 here. Wow, they were fighting under towers and they still pulled off. Great engage. There was definitely a higher risk for the side of Match Ready, but they didn't care, right? They got the Falstad, and they got the Falstad in the mosh pit. They killed the Brightwing and Lunara, and that's really good. But truthfully, did you really win? Now, if you win this team fight down here, if they can smell it, this could be worth, because look how low they're getting, and they do. They sniff it out. They know they're here. If you're on the side of Minion Miners, you need to get the hell out. Now, does Li Ming continue this, though? You should, because there's only 3 alive, right? And you have 4 up. ETC is coming now. Do they check the bush here? Are they going to anchor? Do they think they're gone here? They shouldn't. He's going in the gun, and he takes it. Oh, no. And then Elite comes in. Oh, the Falstad tried. You got it. I thought he took it for a second. I'm not gonna lie, I got a little excited, but that would have been so funny. But the leap comes in clutch, and unfortunately, the Falstad risk did not pay off. So now you got the boss down bottom, and you should be able to start prepping the objective here. Yeah, okay, good. They're going straight to the objective. It was like, I don't know, 2 might peel off to take this camp. I hope not, because now you have advantage here, and you have a camp going in mid, which Sonya can clear, and Greymane is going to clear top, because you can have 3 on objective here, because, right, we saw the Falstad die. All of them are down bottom here. But, guys, how funny would it have been inside of Minion Miners if Verdurin would have been able to gust them off and scoop their own boss back? That would have been pretty funny. But let's see if the risk was worth it, right? You have 10 seconds, we have 30 seconds till the objective is finished. So you have another shot if you're on the side of Minion Miners. But the question is, are they going to posture for this? So it looks like they are. They are starting to posture. You should see a Falstad fly any minute now, probably down bottom. Yep, you do. And they're going to come through this funnel here, right? If you're on the side of Match Ready, all you got to do is just play passive on the point here. Just don't let them do anything. But you're going to see it immediately by the Sonya here, poking out to ETC is getting low, Sonya is getting low, but they do get the objective. But can they get out? That is the question here. Greymane is being chased down by the Ragnars, but Sonya is going in hand. But Sonya should be the next ball here. Cold Fashion's coming in. It's a 2v3 here. ETC, and oh, that's unfortunate. It looked like an ETCW pushed out the Brightwing here and gets a desperation mosh. Oh, wow. All right. Bullet missed. And Li Ming is trying to juke out, but unfortunately there is a tower there. Unlucky. Again. Here we go again. Match Ready gets the objective. And then they all die. They get really no value. But you are going to see a Greymane stepping up, poking down the Deathwing here. Now, they should be able to get the mid for it. But again, Ragnos being a nuisance down bottom, just stalling out, just make sure there's no pressure on the keep here. But again, like I was saying, you should be able to get the mid for it. All right, now we're 4 for 4 for shooting the Deathwing with the sleep here. Just going to keep calling that one out. It's, I hope somebody tells him. I'm gonna keep calling it. But all right. So now that the objective is going to end, I believe top boss is going to be up, which it is. Yep, as we can see here, top boss is up. You see them posturing, I guess potentially for vision here. They're going to start paper wall scouting, the Ana players scouting, and you're going to see the entire team of minion miners go straight up top. And you do see the Wisp here. Wisp is going to the bush here, and paper wall should be able to click attack it. And you are going to get an immediate blow up on the Lunara here, but does Greymane get caught out here? Because Greymane was a little high. Deathwing does commit in, and they do get a fear, but it pushes away. ETC can just clear, but goes in, catches the right wing. No, but W's, and Sonya misses. Unlucky, but you do get a gust into the wall here, and Brightwing is a really high up, right? Emerald Wind was, I believe, used a little too preemptively, right? The idea is there, right, to negate any oncoming damage, but it's really biting Westraw in the butt, as we've seen twice now. You know, the ability really didn't get any value. Truthfully, it didn't, right? Because you have so many disengages on the side of minion miners, but hey, wow, that's huge for the side of minion miners and not really good for match ready. Falstad taking out bottom, and then now Lunara taking out mid. So even though you lost that Brightwing, you got a lot for the side of minion miners. But let's see, right? Let's see what you can do. But this should be a kill for, oh no, there is no leap. Can she do it? No, that was called. Looks like ETC potentially got called by the Sonya. Hey, there is a Lunara really low, but let's see what they can do with this really healthy boss here. Sonya's clearing up mid. Bottom you can let go because your core regenerates here, but here's a lot of damage to the Leeming with the Blagger 8 build by the Deathwing here, right? It just does so much. Conflagration here, and they are going to negate the Rag out, but Sonya's still in mid. Sonya is now rotating up here. The sleep does miss on the Ragnaros here. Can they poke this keep down? I think that they can. You have great Leeming. Mana Boost was used, and the boss should be able to get the last hit, and Repulsion is used to push them away. Now, go inside match ready. Great stuff. Now the game is even, right? You have one keep both taken by each team, and there are no remaining forts. So you're feeling pretty good to come back in like that. You unfortunately lost your mid fort and bottom keep, but at least you got the same thing. And looks like there is another pause here for the side of match ready. Oh, ETC, their tank player, is really laggy. I think that warrants a nice hydration break here. But guys, looking at what we have here. So Sonya is doing really well, right? Keeping up with as much as she can with the XP here. But what really is helping, right? What's really helping is the kills, right? The kills to the side of match ready is keeping them alive. But, you know, as you look at the soak difference, right? You have your 12 and 18k, then you have your 16 and 13, and then your two lowest, right? So the healers have the lowest, and they're both doing well. They're matching. Lunara, let's see. Let's put it towards, you know, versus Li Ming, right? The XP is going really well. You're only off by this much compared to this against a Ragnaros. That's pretty good, right? Due to the level 10 ult. And I was also curious why, you know, on the side of the Falstad here, you know, increase attack speed by 20% and attack range by 1.1. You know, I really do feel like, again, this is just an opinion here. I really do feel like Wind Tunnel would get a lot more value here because you gust, and then you can lock down the enemy team into, as we saw up here, right? That Falstad Gust could have locked them down, right? At this choke point. Could have been a turnaround play. Could have been, potentially. Locking them down like that, you do have a lot of damage on the side of Minion Miners. And there was 3 going into the choke there that could have been punished. But again, that's just a snap call play, right? And from my memory of, like, you know, 8 minutes ago, that play, you know, that's what I was thinking, like, ooh, if you got a nice wind tunnel there, you might have been able to make a play, to make a comeback play. So we do have ready, we're getting a tout down, and we do see on the side of Minion Miners, they are taking their camp, but on the side of match ready, are they going to take theirs and, you know, negate the mid push here? Now, here's the thing, though. Now that we are in the late game, you know, as we've seen match ready, they do some interesting stuff in the late game. Let's see if they decide to play safe here, right? If they play it safe, they play to what they've been doing, I think they'll be fine here. They do get a nice clear up mid, and there is a bottom wave pushing It's getting pretty chunky down there, but you do see the side of Match Ready. They are going to clear it, but you should start looking at your camps, right? There's no need to just, not really do anything. You should have already taken it, actually, while this was pushing in, because now you can get some pressure here. And here comes Rag again, alting top, getting a lot of value here. And you do get 2 lava waves, so there's going to be consistent pressure here. Bullet is used on the Deathwing. Deathwing is backing up and should be able to regenerate soon. As you can see, he's trying to heal up. But they are going to stall this. We have Conflagration. You have a Brightwing Q. I believe that does hit the range. So yeah, this is where it gets really annoying here. And this is where you can start prioritizing your offlaners. Like, imagine if you had, whether Falstad or Brightwing just consistently pushing top, because look how much negate you can do with just the Deathwing alone, right? You have the level 7 talent, you have, this Deadpool here, and see, they're gonna keep trying and they're not gonna get anything out of it. They should just consistently keep pushing back the lanes here. But now look at top, it's consistent chip damage, right? You're now playing for the chip game here. Tiny micro. Now this call, right, could be risky. Lunara is going to scout this out. They should see this, but are they going to be fast enough for it this side of Match Ready? It is called, and there was the level 16 talent pick, use active reload on the Greymane here, but that was 100% worth it now, because on the side of Minion Miners, they did not expect it. Now here comes Match Ready, stepping up, looking aggressive, and they do get a bullet immediately out, yet no lockdown, just poking down the Deathwing, because Deathwing has to heal himself. And again, here we go, another stalemate. But if you're on the side of Minion Miners, you're going to have your Rag ult used up here. You're going to get a lot of value here. And here comes Leeming stepping up, doing a lot of damage, but getting a lot of damage back in return because Lunara. And they are looking for the Lunara. Teal just wants to... What the heck? Okay. I actually thought the animation, maybe Teal hit his Y key, but I could have sworn I thought I saw a mosh pit animation coming up. I was like, what the heck is that? But looks like the boss is just going to get some chip damage on the bottom keep here. But if you're on the side of Match Ready, you're getting more chip percentage. But again, guys, here's the problem. When you're on the side of Match Ready, look at the lanes yet again, right? Ragnaros doing a lot. Ragnaros looking for a flank here, potentially looking at the Leeming. Leeming may be able to spot it out, but Ragnaros may be able to go straight onto the end of here. Anna is potentially not in vision of the Rag. Nope, Rag is just, whoa, Rag's kind of doing nothing here, but Lunara is going into the commit on the ETC here, and Lunara does fall to the Greymane, but now the backline is being crashed on because the Ragnaros is on the Anna backline. This paper wall call it out. Is it enough? And they do. They should be able to save the Anna here. They do solo mosh the Ragnaros here, but the Ragnaros does get shield off, which is really good because the Ragnaros could have annihilated the Anna, but the problem is the ETC did a nice mosh, solo mosh to save the Anna. Really good play, but now look at bottom. You have bottom here pushing up. This should be a keep. Honestly, this is most likely game because once this keep goes down, you have 3 dead here, and you have, you have 1 armor left on the core here, and then you have the objective coming in. Really good stuff on the side of Match Ready, holding and keeping their composure, playing for the late game. Because again, guys, as we've seen before, but Marshall is looking for the back line, is looking to engage on the end here, but immediate sleep and immediately lockdown. Great reaction by the end and great reaction by the team to lock down. This should be GG. Brightwing should be able to get away, but it doesn't really matter. They're playing really aggressive here, but I guess they knew that they needed to do this. So the side of game number 1 was won by Match Ready. GG's. So guys, overall, great stuff. It's the side of Match Ready. They kept their composure, right? They really did. And, the reason why I say that is because we do see a lot of times with Match Ready plays for the late game, they end up, and I hate to say it in we'll say it as friendly as we can, they end up overcommitting a lot of times, and they end up throwing out their match, and then they played an excellent match. But here we go, right? We're seeing a little bit of different of Match Ready. They kept their composure, they played well to keep them all alive. Great solo mosh, by the way. If anyone's curious, what's so good about a solo mosh? Well, to kind of explain it to you is, a solo mosh, if it secures a kill, especially in the late game, even in the early game, before or even after an objective has been taken by your team, it's always useful because of the fact that you can get a one-man advantage for the time that person is down. So as we saw the Ragnaros, the value for that solo mosh is to keep the Anna alive, and then now you don't have to worry about a Ragnaros ult, right? So really, overall, good stuff to the side of Match Ready. Now, we are going to wait on, looks like Match Ready Teal is going to restart his computer potentially, so it might be like a 5-minute intermission, but now we get to see, on the side of Match Ready, what pick they're going to have. So we have a 1-0 series, but as I've always said, guys, for casting, I do hope we get a 3-game series. I always love casting 3-game series because it's the most competitive. You do see teams balls to the walls and wanting to pull out that win for their time put in. But guys, what a great series, right? First game was really good. Both sides playing well, right? You see great global presence and great Ragnaros presence on the map. You know, there was just so much pressure on Match Ready due to that comp. It was just really toxic, in my opinion. Like, it's just super annoying. But they played it very well, right? They played it really, really well. Put this up while we wait. Yeah, let's leave that up. But you know, that's what we like to see, though. You know, we do like to see teams duking out to the end, right? And honestly, the game could have gone in anyone's hand at that point. So glad to see you in the chat, man. No tomatoes on my order. Let's see if we deliver. All right, Gio. Yeah, Gio. So the early game was looking really good, but in the early game, in my opinion, Minion Miners was putting a lot of pressure. Putting a lot of pressure on Match Ready due to the global. But Match Ready, you know, came back with a lot of PvP aspect. You did see the Sonya in the top lane get some kills on the Lunara, and I believe got a kill on Rag too. I could be wrong, but Sonya did really well up top, holding her own, keeping the team in XP wise, right? You know, compared to a Rag, you're probably not going to win due to the XP. But Sonya kept him in the game. Last time I checked, there was like a 3k difference for the Sonya versus the Ragnaros. So still not bad. But for everyone else on the team there, right, the XP was pretty good for Match Ready compared to Minion Miners. You know, it was a little even for a while, but then Match Ready definitely over time took it. But the kills, it was the kills, right? Last time we checked, it was like 12 kills to 5 to Match Ready. So even though at the time, Minion Miners had potentially somewhat of an XP lead, again, maybe. I'm not sure how to check you know, the total amounts as you could see in game as they could. So excuse me if I'm wrong, but those kills kept them in the game and the camps that they were taking. So, you know, this V8 juice is pretty good. I remember as a kid, I used to drink it all up. My mom would get really mad at me when I would drink all the juice. All right, looks like Teal is coming back on. So guys, like I said, while we had this intermission, I hope you guys are having a great Wednesday night. Hopefully your work day or whatever you had going on today went well, and no problems. For me, had to work from home because of this nasty eye infection that I've never had before. So if my vision might seem a little off right now, there's my excuse. Cold in that Li Ming. Yeah, Cold was doing well on the Li Ming. You should have seen the nice blow up on the Deathwing at the bottom objective for the side of Match Ready. They did really well. Nice setup. You had a bullet. Immediately followed up by a Li Ming. I think it was a full Li Ming Wave of Force combo to do a complete burst damage. So it was like 100-0 on the Deathwing. Slap you on the forehead. You need a V8. Oh yeah, the old commercials. But let's talk about this for the trolls here. Why was Anna trying to sleep the Deathwing? I think I got a counter of 4. All right, Volskaya Foundry has been called here. Let's put that up. So Match Ready has selected Volskaya, which is by far one of their, from my understandings, based upon watching them, has been one of their favorite and favorite maps. You know, they play really well on the map, they feel, and again, this is based upon watching them consistently throughout the season and from last season. All right, this blanket's a little bit too hot. Apartment was like hot and cold throughout the month. I think I finally got my AC and heater fixed. So as you guys see, there's no more of the like right here. There's no more of the AC unit there. I think they finally got it fixed. Let's hope, because summer down in the South Carolina region is like nasty. Like my apartment could probably be like 80 degrees plus easily. Just how hot it gets down here. In hell. But Match Ready has selected their map. Let's see what comp they do here. Now, we have seen Minion Miners pull out a Cho'Gall comp here. I was really exciting to see. And then we also see, you know, Boost Bonobos is the other team that we've also casted on this map. They pick, you know, TOV and they pick Cho'Gall on this comp. So it looks like, I think there's actually 3 teams that play Cho'Gall on this map. So maybe we might be able to see a Cho'Gall on here. Maybe. But I do think that Match Ready might consider that if they've done their research on the team. Not loud. Yeah, my AC unit was like really, really, really loud. Go to the pool. Yeah, I mean, but you gotta think, dude, I work a lot now. I mean, I guess on the weekends I could just take a nice ice bath. just go like do what I used to do when I used to play soccer for the college here. Just dump a big old ice bag in my bathtub and just lay in it, and then have my roommate just dump the rest of the ice on me. Cools you down. You get cooled down, and your muscles feel great. But now I'm retired, so I got that retired tummy now. Your boy likes to eat and drink beer. Two good things there. All right, game number 2, everybody. Match Ready took the lead in the first game on. Shoot, I had a brain part there. On Alterac Passage, excuse me. They took the first lead on Alterac Passage here. So now Match Ready, like I was saying, has taken us to the next map, to Volskaya Foundry. And again, for the last time, this is a map choice that you will see Match Ready like to take people to if it's not banned from them. This is looks like one of their favorite maps, most consistently played map. So we are going to get the same bans again. Minion Miners banning the Maev, Oot their follow-up ban. Now, the second ban phase where it gets interesting, what are they going to prio here, right? Inside of Minion Miners, you're going to prio the... Yeah, they're gonna take out the Greymane. They felt like the Greymane was the problem. They want to ban out, looks like Sugar. Yeah, that actually works. Yeah, dude, it feels great. And then, like, in the south, once you step outside, you feel like you're sweating again because the humidity level's, like, probably, like, 80 to 90%. Feels gross. You could take a nice hot shower, a nice cold shower before you go to work, and the minute you step outside, you're just pouring sweat and gnats are all over you right in the morning. And then we're gonna get a follow-up Lucio ban. Incoming first pick, Sonya by Marshall. Great pick. Sonya right now is a first pick material, mainly because she's just a really good hero. I mean, yeah, her W build got reworked, but in all reality, compared to all the other heroes, Sonya is now a bruiser and an assassin, right? Can do everything. She's really good, just really good. You know, it's basically like how Imperius was for a while. A very impressive hero. So we are going to get a Johanna and Orphea here. So we might see a Wombo combo here. It's looking like they're setting up for it. And let's see what on the side of Minion Miners do. Do they take the fall set here? Because again, one of the biggest things that you do see that can negate on the side of Match Ready is a nice gust. If things get a little too hairy for your team, you gust them away, right? That's the consistent problem. But so can a good Anduin, and so could a good cleanse. And we called it, guys. Here is a Cho'Gall. We have a Cho'Gall Sonya here. So Greymane was definitely banned out because they know that Sugar does play the Greymane here, but Greymane overall is just really good into the Cho'Gall. The Greymane is good into Cho'Gall. So let's see how the side of Match Ready responds. Let's see what their ban is. More like maybe like an Oriole ban. Anna maybe, potentially Anna ban because of Nano. Stukov is still up. All right, so we do have an Anna ban. All right, if you're on the side of Minion Miners, you potentially want to ban out the Leoric here for the Lockdown and Tomb combo here. Or you want to, I don't know, they might ban Tychus, but I don't really think that's going to be played. I do think they should. I think they're going to ban out the Leo here. In my opinion, Leo has a lot of setup, does a lot of damage to the Cho'Gall, and they know that Grace has not picked his player yet, or character yet. Here we go. They banned it out. I mean, it's obvious, right? It's obvious. You're playing Cho'Gall. You want to delete as much as you can. But here's the thing. Grace also plays Malthael. So the question is why they picked it in the 2/3. Yep, exactly. And here we go. We got a Malthael and a Sylvanas here. Great. You have a lot of damage on the side of Match Ready, and they have an Alexstrasza leaving immediate follow-up here. So I kind of was suspecting an Alexstrasza, right? Good burst damage, have a dragon on point here because they're fighting for a point, and Li Ming resets, right? Li Ming and Gall do a lot of damage. And Sonya, another CC hero, bruiser / assassin, can help the Cho'Gall, help Cho, more specifically, help lock down some targets. Probably going to go leave Sonya here for more lockdown. Now, if you're Paper Wall, you're more likely looking at your Stukov. Oh, we're going to get a Malfurion. Not bad. I guess you really don't need cleanse that well. I don't know. I do think that Stukov. The reason why I say Stukov is for the silence, right? Now, Malfurion does get the root and sleep, so again, not disregarding the Malfurion, but is it enough heals? Is the question, right? As much utility as you see in a Stukov, and Malfurion is really good. So if hopefully the Malfurion does play out in their favor, but with a Leeming and Gall, it's just a lot of poke burst damage. But again, I'm not really a healer main, so I'm just kind of just guessing at this point. So hopefully, if I'm wrong, we learned something here about Malfurion and how well he does against a comp like that. I see a lot of burst on the side of Minion Miners, but you have a lot on match ready, a lot of percent damage through the Malthael, really, and then you have a lot of lockdown potential with the Orphea here. Potentially the root sleep is the combo here with the Orphea. All right, everyone. Let's introduce both teams here in game number 2 on Volskaya, picked by Match Ready here. We are going to introduce the teams yet again for game number 2. We're going to have Match Ready on the blue team here. Malthael being played by Grace. Orphea being played by Cold Fashion. Sylvanas being played by Sugar Bear. Malfurion being played by Paperwall. And Johanna being played by Teal. Classic here. Alex Straza for the side of Minion Miners. Alex Straza being played by Wesker. Sonya being played by Marshall. Cho and Gall, Himibo with Murderin in here, and Leeming being played by Senior Mac of Cheese here. Good luck to both teams here. So we are going to see aggression down bottom, the classic Cheese. Let's see if they snip it out. So they might be able to snip it out because Cho Gall comp is immediately stepping up, and they are looking here. Yep, they immediately snip it out. They know, and they do see him now. You should see the Johanna start stalling here. They want to just get this bottom tower here, get it low as possible. If not, take it. Might be, you're close, but it's all right. And yeah, Malfurion got a buff at its level 1 town. I'll show you while we have some time. So entangling root sleep enemy heroes for 2 seconds after its root expires. It's really good setup. Really good. All right, so Johanna is going to blind out the Alex Straza here to put some perk. And you're going to see the Sonya here down bottom and, basically in his lane, like, get out of my lane here. Oh, okay, so the Malfurion root into the Alex Straza, that might be the idea here, and so that also means they might pick the level, I think it's level 4, level set, maybe? Level 4? I can't remember, but there is a talent choice for Malfurion where you can negate the heals, and that might be what their plan is, right? So Johanna stepping up onto the Leeming here, poking him down, and Malfurion just getting great poke heals in. Malthael, nice double soak here. Got a slight lead, I want to say. He's doing. Let's do this way. So both camps are being taken here, and yeah, Malthael's got a nice. This is a 1 minion lead right here, as we can see here. That I think it's like 372 in the beginning per minion wave, I believe. I could be wrong here, but there is a minion wave advantage to Malthael here. But as you can see, both teams took their camp here, and they are looking to do their rotations again. It looks like Teal and Malfurion are setting up, and Sylvanas is clearing out mid. Paper Wall or Cold Fashion. It has the whole team of Minion Miners chasing it, but should be able to get out. It hits the Q. That's all you need just to get out. And look at that poke damage, right? Now, good. As you can see here, the Orphea did not tap here, right? And the reason for that is either A, she's already done it and I missed it, or 2, is because she knows that the objective's coming at 2:30, but here comes Shogal coming into the mid fight here. They know they need the forces because Orphea was down bottom here, but Sylvanas is now poking down the Alex Straza down bottom. Great damage on Wesker by the Sylvanas here, doing a lot and making sure that Alex can't really heal the team because she is a base heal off of her health. So with less heals, more with less health, less heals come out. Now you're gonna see Sugar Bear attack the bottom fort, and you're gonna get a response by 2 players. Obviously, the Cho'Gall is going to come down to negate that, but you should see pressure elsewhere, right? You have your Malthael soaking, you should have mid soaked. And now you have the camp being timed here. And they are going to take it behind the wave here, which is really good because you want your minion wave to soak this up. So either you take it at 245 or you take it at 215 to let the minion wave, or to let your siege camp get behind the minion wave here. So if you guys didn't know, that's what I like to do too as well. And they are going to get a free clear on top, and then it's basically a race to 7 here. Malthael is clearing bottom, but middle is being missed. And there is another 5v4 up here. A lot of poke damage on the side of Minion Miners into Match Ready, and they should get a free clear on the side of Match Ready's siege camp. But again, that's fine. You have Malthael just stealing the percent now. And let's go back up the top because they are aggressing here, and Johanna gets pushed on, gets completely chunked by the Li Ming here. And if you're on the side, you can just basically back, right? They're going to pressure top because look at Malthael's doing. Malthael's just getting 3% damage while the side of Minion minus. But again, you don't really want to give the entire for it, right? So here comes Malthael's going to soak out mid to get 7 for his team as well. And you are going to get a root. That is really aggressive heals for Westcroft, putting it at the top 4 here. But the Dragon was pushed out because they want to start pressuring top 4. This is basically, you get the whole as your fort here. And they are looking like they're giving up the objective here. Nope, we're going to see Sonya potentially start matching the Malthael here. Sylvana's poking out the Cho'Gall here, but they are stepping up on the Li Ming here, and here comes Cho'Gall putting a lot of pressure onto the heels, but gets slept by the Malfurion, and Westerall gets pushed on until they look past the Cho'Gall here, and they're doing a lot of damage. And look, if you're on the side, oh my god, he's getting low, oh, 70 health, and he makes it out alive. Classic heals, great heals on the side of Malfurion here. Look at what Grace did, right? The Malthael. While they're fighting that 5v4 here, he got a lot of percentage, and now you're going to get the objective here because if you go inside of Minion Miners, honestly, your comp is, you need to be fighting on the point here, right? This is where you need to be at. And by the way, while looking up top whenever they're fighting, you notice how they pushed past the Cho'Gall and went straight for the back line. Great stuff. They didn't wake up the Cho'Gall. This is great execution on the sleep for the Malfurion. So good stuff on the side of Match Ready for understanding and respecting that. Teal is going to take a lot of damage here, but it's fine. And Li Ming is going to try poking down the objective here. And so they got the mid fort here, or the mid fort wall sort of, and they are trying to look potentially for the top fort wall, but they took so much damage that they're really not going to get any more value besides the cannon here. Like, they're, what I mean by value is that they're not going to get the what you would typically see, which would be the health here. So still being chased down by the Cho'Gall, and Li Ming casting her orb and WQW magic missiles combo. But here we go, Malthael soaking again, and you are seeing Sonya down bottom here. So let's look at the, I keep doing that, sorry guys. So you're gonna see an invade on the side of Match Ready down bottom. It looks like an orb Ming here. We'll look at the stats in a minute here, and they are gonna be completely aggressive here, and Cho'Gall is gonna go straight towards, they should just take this from them. They had the time, no, they're just gonna put aggression up top fort here. They want to take some more chip damage here, but you should see an immediate response by Match Ready and potentially leave one on the bottom fortification camp here. So they do get away. 10s are now equally selected here, and all 5 are now top. They're going to negate bottom, which is really good for the third objective here. Sylvanas in mid, granting vision. But let's talk about ults real quick here. You have last rights, pretty standard, a good chunk. Oh my god! See you in the Nexus, buddy! Completely annihilated by Senior Mac of Cheese. Grace did not see that one coming. Oh my god. So now we're going to see Marshall the Sonya completely negate, and you're going to have a nice leap that gets pulled into the fort here, and you see a Blessed Shield followed up by the Orphe here. Sonya should be getting low, but here comes the Alex Strauss with Life Binding ult here and saves him. But here they're being so aggressive here into a 5v4 here, but they're on retreat. It's on the Minion Miners because they're doing so much damage, and Orphe is doing so much damage to the Alex Strauss here, and they get out, so it's a 1-for-1 trade. But if you're on the side of Minion Miners, I'd still pat myself on the back for annihilating someone like that. That was so much damage, and they do get 2, and Sugar gets a lot of damage, but he does go in. He gets a nice root onto the Cho'Gall here. Gall does push out the Cho out of that root and the sleep. And Malfurion's running away because he's scared. This is a very scary situation, but here we go. This should be a complete death on the side of Cho'Gall here. Oh, gets away. This is so annoying. Can Johanna lock it down? No, but Sonya might be the next target here because Sonya's getting really low, going around the other side, but gets rooted and slept immediately. Thought was looking for the leap here. Great kill. They should be able to get the forward here. Malfurion should be able to heal up his team and give Introvert, and which is your mana choice. And if you're on the side of Match Ready, you're feeling good here. You got nice kills. You got Mouth there, who is now back up from the Nexus, is now healing himself back up. My god, that was a direct hit, and that is the power of the orb build Ming here. That was so much damage. All right, so we'll leave this mid real quick, and let's look at the soak here, right? Look at the soak difference by Grace on playing on Malthael versus the Sonya here. Sonya has a lot of catching up to do, and overall, the soak for the top 3 people right here on the side of Match Ready is completely over on the side of Minion Miners here. So you have Joe holding down a choke here, and Senior Mac and Cheese understands that, hey, if I shouldn't go here, my team probably called me back to take the safe route here. You don't know where the enemy team is at, or where the Joe is at. And you like to see your tank go off of the point here. Now you're going to see Marshall get caught by the by the mind control here, but Cho'Gall goes in with Gall goes in with the twisting and nether to engage, but gets rooted immediately by the Malfurion here. So we have one big ult for 2, but if you're on the side of match ready, you should get your ults up first if you take another fight, but you also have the 13 advantage here. And if you're on the side of minion miners, you're going to take some of the percentage down. You're going to start taking your camp here to get ready for your next engage, because you should be able to get 13 in time. They are going to match bottom, Malthael versus Sonya here, and potentially there might be a rotation look back up top. Sonya should be able to get this wave, and the Malthael is going to hold down bottom. But here we go. This is what I was fearing. There might be a gank on the Malthael here, but Malthael should be able to get out potentially, right? Does a lot of heals, but Cho'Gall does a lot of damage here. Nope, but does go down. They do catch him, but you are going to get a follow-up by the side of match ready for the top fort, and there might be a trade-off down bottom. No, they're going to immediately start rotating up top. Now, here's the thing, though. If you're in the off lane, you have to pay attention to the mini-map, just because of things like that, right? Granted, in this situation, you have a big advantage lead, and you did get the objective, right? So you're gonna put your 2 squishies in there. But here's the thing, though, that could really bite you in the butt later in the game if you let that continuously happen. Again, this just happened once for this game, but you need to be mindful, right? They just took this camp down here, and you don't know who's who. You're pretty extended out in the lane. You don't know where the enemy team is at. So just something to think about. Just to be mindful of. But we are going to see Prio down bottom, because that's where the next objective, the nice reset, because you have, I think this is the 3rd objective here, and this is where you should see a lot of damage. So it should be a fort here. You will at least get the well here. But there's a lot of damage being put onto the objective here, and you see Marshall to Sonya looking for a flank. This is really aggressive, but could pay off really well. If you're on the side of minion miners, this is where you need to take your fight here. They are showing here. The Orphea did cast the shield here, but Sonya does miss his Q. Joe does step up, but hits the unstoppable and drops it. But Cho'Gall should go down here, and so should Sonya. But there's a lot of damage on the side of match ready. But instantly, Orphea misses the crushing jaws here. Yep, there's a crushing jaws. Yeah, crushing jaws here on the Sonya. But Marshall should go down there because the Alex Strauss that cannot keep up with that damage. Now, this should be an immediate keep play. You can do a lot of damage with the Sylvanas here. They're going to go to the top fort. They're going to take down the wall, potentially look past it, and go straight for the keep. You definitely can't end, but you can definitely do a lot of damage to the keep, right? Exactly. You are going to see that, and there should be trade up by the Sylvanas here, which you do see. And this is really good if you're on the side of match ready. You get the first keep of the game here. Play it fast. You gotta get rid of this quickly. Cho'Gall is going to do a lot of damage to you. And Malfurion to start stepping back here, and they do get the mind control of the Cho'Gall, but they don't get a root here. But you get some keep chip damage. It's fine. You get 16. It's okay, right? You know that this is really low, and it's unfortunate that you didn't get it, but it was a great attempt, right? That's the idea, is that you need to play. If you do get a 5-man team wipe, you need to take you need to take advantage of things like this, because look at the waves, right? Over time, if they neglect this, you're gonna get a lot of chip damage here, and then over time you will get the keep. And as long as your minion wave is pushed up, it's a win condition, essentially, is what I'm saying. It opens up a win condition for your team here, because if there is another 5-man team wipe, you really don't have to do much to get this keep down. So that is the saving grace for the side of minion miners, though, that they did not take that bottom keep out. But if you're not match ready, you're feeling good here. But again, we are entering into the late game. This is where you have to start calming your nerves. You're getting excited, right? Calm your nerves here, and let's see what they can do. If not, the minion miners, nerves potentially are flaring. You're down here. All your forces are gone. Your keep's essentially gone down bottom, but it's a Cho'Gall comp, right? After a certain point with a Cho'Gall comp, you can do an astronomical amount of damage that a Malfurion will not be able to keep up with, but there is a stun by the Gall onto the Sylvanas here. Sylvanas actually looking for a mind control here. I keep forgetting the ults here, so sorry about that, guys, for me pausing. I always forget the names for some reason. You have to wonder if Mal will have a level 4 then. Level 4. Oh, we'll finish it. Good point, APOC. Maybe. I don't know. He doesn't get annihilated by the Li Ming again. But you are potentially looking for an aggressive play here. I mean, guys, all you really have to do is just play for 20 here. I mean, because the side of minion miners, you know they're going to stick together. But if you do trust your team, fight here and do catch a rotation here, it's really good. But here comes Teal looking aggressively here. Is going to potentially Blessed Shield the first target here. It should be a mind control follow-up and immediately blow up. Potentially, yeah, immediate blow up, but Cho'Gall does get caught into the root here. Really good. And here comes Crushing Jaws, and they do stasis out of the last rights. Looks like they're listening to our comms here, APOC. And then Grace gets completely negated for his ult. But they are going to now push down the bottom keep here. They're going to take advantage of the Sylvanas trade here. I'm not really sure if you really needed to use that ult for the Malfurion here. It's kind of unnecessary because they're not really engaging you. So that's a 75 or 70? 80 second, excuse me. 80 second cooldown versus a Sonya at 15 seconds. So you have all ults down on the side of match ready at pre-20 here. And you have all ults up for the side of Minion Miners. Now, let's see if Minion Miners sees this, right? Let's see if they understand that, you know, we have all of our ults, right? So hopefully on the side of match ready, they understand this when they get when they are going to get forced upon, and see how they react here. So now we're going to see Minion Miners start taking their camp here, and they do sniff it out immediately. Now guys, here, this is where we don't throw, right? All right, we're gonna be calm and collective here. We're just gonna play for 20 here. Gotta play like a bunch of pansies, right? But ults are now up for the side of match ready here. It's 1918. This is now or never for the side of Minion Miners. And in this position, this is where you want to be at, right? This is exactly where you want to be at. You want to force onto this fight, but here comes Li Ming, does chunk. That's a tiny bit on the Sylvanas here, but now you're going to see match ready. Great stuff. They are looking to take the level 20 tile. They understand, hey guys, we have 75% on the objective here, but if you're outside Minion, you got to get off that. You got to start playing aggressive where you can, and they're going to force it in. And look, match ready leaves, and they do catch the Mouthdale. Mouthdale is caught, and they get Lightbinder up. The last rights is caught, but do they get anyone? Do they get the Alex Strauss here? Li Ming does miss on the Orphea, but now they have no healer. But Orphea does need to put down the healing totem here. And they are going to start looking at Marshall, but Marshall, Sonya spin the wind, doesn't do any damage here, but gets the completely obliterated because Sylvanas and Joe are doing so much. And now you start focusing on the Li Ming here, because Li Ming is a Orb Ming. But oh my god, Cho'Gall just punches and shoves the Orphea into a locker like he wouldn't bully him. But Cho'Gall might be able to fall here. But Cho'Gall's looking for a re-engage here. Li Ming is doing a lot of poke damage into the line here. Cho'Gall does stasis here. And if you're in the choke here, you should lead on the side of match ready, because Cho'Gall is pretty freaking scary, because here comes the Li Ming coming in. Mouthdale is right back up, coming in. They're looking for a flank, but Sylvanas goes in for a very ambitious but nice try. Don't blame him on the Li Ming, but Li Ming teleports out. Great reaction time by Senior Macho Cheese. Great stuff for match ready, even though Orphea got shoved into a locker by the Cho'Gall. That was kind of funny. He got stunned out of his mind. But now you get the protector here, and you're gonna take it to the bottom keep here, because this is the third object or fourth object. It's third or fourth. Now I'm losing numbers and count here, but you are a 20 advantage, and you're looking at taking advantages. So Mouthdale's in it because he's a squishy. Potentially put the Malfurion in there, because Malfurion's not gonna be able to heal up really anyone in a fight like this. Orphea is gonna be a little late, but there's going to be a focus on the Sonya here. And Cho'Gall goes straight for the back line because he understands that there's a numbers advantage here. And here comes the elite by the Sonya here, and they are going to focus down the Sylva. Sylva does get out. Blessed Shield was used to basically negate the damage here. If you're on the side of that Minion Miners, you're doing really well. You're protecting the protector here, but everyone's really low. And if they burn this down, they might be able to kill who's inside the punish here, or protector here, excuse me. But you have Crushing Jaws to negate, but Sonya does go in. Mind Control immediately casted here, but he's completely healed back up. But Orphea completely obliterates the Sonya here. But Paper Wall gets bullied into the wall, just like the Orphea did a few minutes ago. And so Orphea is now wants revenge, taking my lunch money. I'm gonna take mine back. But here comes the damage output by the Li Ming, and they do come up on top. They have no healer though. You do not want to push into a Li Ming Orb build here. This is a lot of damage. I don't think you can really end against the Orb Ming Li Ming here. That's just my opinion here. I could be wrong. And Johanna, unstoppable to make sure that she does not get bursted down. Great stuff. No flame. It's like a second cooldown. Mind control. Yeah, that's true. But it's always fun to flame, baby. And we are going to take the aggression because you have 3 down up top. So let's look at level 20 talents while we have a chance here. Now they're taking this support camp here. The Cho'Gall, does he take the... So Fuel for Flame... So it doesn't take the talent where it reduces the... what's it called? The death timer. But, you know, spam Mind Control... Serenity for more healing, right? Increase your healing. Yeah, more healing. Blessed Shield for lockdown. You know, you could, if you feel like your team's just getting absolutely bursted down, you could have gone blinded by the light, which would have given you a burst shield, or because I don't think the Joes really died much, right? One death, not bad. You don't really need indestructible, but again, great lockdown potential, whoever you hit though, right? Because then you just blow them up immediately. So the talent's still a great pick. But if you did happen to fear the burst damage, you could have gone blinded by the light, which is basically burst shields, because you're flashing your flashlight, basically your E on the Johanna will reduce the cooldown of it. So here we go. We have it engaged, binding by the. Oh, wow, that was a really early life binder, but you're gonna get an immediate caught out. Sylvanas is completely caught out, way too high up. Orphea is potentially the next target here, but they are fighting on the orb camp here, on the support camp here. But Orphea should do a lot of damage here because Sonya's taking a lot. Here comes Last Rites, but they do get one kill. Can they do anything else? Now you only have the healer and the tank here. I've always learned that. It's so much throws, baby. But Malthea does come back up. But here we go. This is what I'm talking about here. You're on the side of Minion Miners. This is, again, your way back into the game here. Objective is up, but Li Ming has to clear bottom, but you do get a fort at the top for the side of Minion Miners here. Listen, I just roll with the team, all right? I don't want to, but I just roll with what the team gives me. Playing safe is the learning point yet again of what I've learned last night, which is probably like the millionth time. All right, well, that was a little stomach. Take another quick hydration break because it is getting hot in the apartment. All right, so Minion Miners are gonna start looking at their bottom support camp here. If you're on the side of match ready, you're gonna start taking percent on the objective here. Cho'Gall is going to scout in, understands I don't need to take free damage, and now Johanna is going to check the camp, see if anyone's on it, which there should be, and there's 35 seconds on the bottom fortification camp, which could be used for the next team fight if they can get it in time. But if you do start sending people off to that point, you might see the Cho'Gall comp on the side of Minion Miners go to invade there, because you do a lot of damage for both sides, actually. Orphea does a lot. Malthea does a lot, and do we get to see Malthea finish his level 4 talent for 180 seconds? Joe has to pop Unstoppable, taking a lot of damage here, a lot of stuns, a lot of poke. Johanna, they won't fall here because he was completely overextended. The combo was used here. This is what we're talking about outside of match ready. They do this, and here comes a nice life binder. It was a nice preemptive life binder this time. Here it comes. They cast out from Sylvanas here, trying to do some poke damage here, but Johanna got obliterated completely through Unstoppable, unfortunately. If you're on the side of Minion Miners, this is your chance to get back into the game, right? You have a bottom fort. I honestly probably just take the objective down bottom to negate this keep damage or take the minions out. But you are going to get a follow-up reaction by match ready to start taking the support camp. For the next engagement here, you should have enough time, I would think, for the middle, because you do have the, you do have the well advantage here. They're going to negate the minions off, and Cho'Gall is just going to continuously get his percent. Now, the thing is, though, with travel time, probably another 10 seconds. So it looks like they are going to get they should be able to get the protector here. If you're outside of Minion Miners here, you got 80, 90%, and Johanna is now spawning. Yep, you just protect what you can. Quite frankly, you're either going to take it mid because mid is low, or you take it bottom here because you want to negate the keep of the cannons here, or the catapults, excuse me. You want to negate that, but look at top, right? Top is taking a lot. Now, you see Cho'Gall and Li Ming taking out bottom fort here, as we were talking about, and you're going to start poking it down here. Sonya potentially looking for elite potential here, but again, late game Cho'Gall is really scary. Like, it just does so much damage in team fights. Like, at this point, team fighting into a Cho'Gall is like, you're giving them an opportunity to absolutely obliterate you, right? Let's look at the quick damage numbers here. 61k to 58k, so a lot of damage. Sylvanas keeping up close, but Sylvania might get choked here. But here comes the Sonya lead because the Sylvanas was completely caught out, way too high. But followed by the Orphea crushing jaws here, but it really won't do enough here. And this honestly might look like game number 2 because everyone's getting low on the side of match ready. But Blessed Shield was casted to stop the back line from pushing in. Cho'Gall and Li Ming and the protector here pushing up cold fashion on Orphea, getting really low here. Teal stepping up to get a lot of damage on the side of Minion Miners. But hey, at least Malthea finishes level 4 talent here. And so let's see, does it get any value here? Malthea may flick in But now you're taking a lot of keep damage, core damage on the side of Match Ready. Can you stop this? If they do throw here, it will be GG. But Cho'Gall getting low, but the Li Ming is doing so much. Malthael may fall here, and might be the focus here, but Cho'Gall is low. They're all low. Can they get poke damage? This is your chance, right? This is your chance here. You're doing a lot. Mid fort just dropped here. Lightbinder was casted. Malthael is backing up. Has to respect the full health Cho'Gall here, and it's looks like it's going to be a 1-1. Tie to the series here. We do get a 3-game series here to the side of Minion Miners. GG. GG. I do agree, APOC. I think that at a certain point, you cannot take a fight into Cho'Gall in the late game, and if you have a win condition like that, you honestly might just need the base race here. Right? You honestly might. But, you know, what's funny is Li Ming's only kill was on that Malthael that we saw earlier. But guys, look at the difference here, right? Match Ready was in the lead the entire time, but the thing is about the Cho'Gall comp is, can Gall blink protected? That'd be freaking busted if he could. But, you know, as we saw, right, Cho'Gall just in the late game just does too much damage, and then with consistent Li Ming poke and Sonya just as another front line, you know, Westcrawl doing really well with Lightfire preemptively. Really only wasted it once, but you know the idea is there. You're expecting the Cho'Gall player to take a lot of damage, but guys, as we've seen before, the Match Ready curse is struck again. Just gotta play it slow. And honestly, I do agree with you. I do agree with you, APOC. I do think that, you know, at that point, Match Ready should just look completely past honestly that protector and just go straight to the core. I mean, what else you have to lose, right? Cho'Gall is just gonna beat you in a PvP setup, especially late game, because the way that they're playing that, you know what I mean? At least that's how I feel. You know, you may have a different opinion on it, but I think Match Ready should have taken their chances on going straight to core. And then if on the side of Minion Miners, if they go to, you know, try blocking you off, you know, they go to defend their core, you just leave and negate the entire objective, right? You had the game in your hands still. Oh, that was still a play here. All right, let's go ahead and change up this. Okay, and team is now a 1-1. So guys, we do get our second game for a 3-game series here. This is awesome to see, guys. So this is a really exciting matchup here. Let's see where we get taken to next by the choice of Minion Miners, right? Let's see where they take us last. At this point, guys, we're on the side of Match Ready. Nerves are now calm. Minion Miners are probably like super excited, which I don't blame them. They came back up in the series. That Cho'Gall comp felt really good to them. So while we have a quick minute, I'm gonna go grab a little bit more of my juice, because I'm gonna need it for this next one, because I guarantee you it's gonna be chock full with a lot of PvP action here. All right, we're back. I think so, especially with such a lead. Yeah, I mean, there's really nothing else you can do. Like, I mean, with Cho'Gall, let me find Gall, because the amount of damage in CC that they do, you know, it's just insane. What is this? Any heroes hit by your basic abilities are slowed by 50. Good lord. But I'd rather have stuns or silence here. But yeah, you know, and the song is setting up for, you know, setting them up by getting a silver fox on right now, baby. Oh yeah, we can hear it now. Let's see though. Again, I'm trying to think of where we might get taken to by Minion Miners. You know, maybe we might get a Curse Hollow game. Honestly, with Infernal Shrines banned, BOE was banned, so we could potentially get a well. You know, NA likes their Towers of Doom and Dragonshire here. Oh, we called it. Dragonshire is been selected. I think this is an appropriate match for the last game here. Guys, what do you think? Do you guys like Dragonshire? You know, like I've always said before, you know, I was never a fan of Dragonshire when I first started. I was like, there's just too much to do on the map. But as I, you know, got a little bit more experience with the game, more game time, I started to enjoy this map. But also Towers of Doom. That map I hated at first too. And then I now kind of like Towers of Doom. Hey, game 3 hype. I agree, Westcraw. I do agree. Gotta hit you with the worm. Do I not have it on here? Oh my. I can't believe it. Korean meta. Yeah, the Koreans did like this, did like it a lot. Let's push top lane. Oh, there it is. Silly spooky worm. Easy spam. Hit him with the worm. Best map in the game. Yeah. You know, like for me, I like playing a lot. Like lately, you know, I am a tank main at heart, even though like I really stopped playing tank unless I am forced onto it. But you know, healing wise, I've been really enjoying like Lucio and Uther, but like on maps like Dragonshire, Infernal Shrines, there's nothing more satisfying than Lucio because there's so many walls everywhere. You can just start skating around, doing drive-bys on people, you know, stopping rotations, getting vision, especially if the team has no like direct punish to you. It's really satisfying. Making sure they know caster is ready. But yeah, you know, Uther also another great healer, you know, at the moment in the meta, right? Just so good here. All right, Gia, I got you because I did get some more juice. That's some good stuff right there. Only thing I really need now is some sweet tea. There we go. So while we're waiting to get into the game, do your gnomes have different names? What's the one with the purple hat called? I wouldn't say they had names yet. I actually haven't thought about naming any of them. I mean, there's the golden gnome. But maybe we can come up with names over time. That is a pretty good idea here. All right, we are going to get an immediate Rexxar ban for the top lane. Rexxar is pretty good on this map, and potentially there might be a Rexxar player on the side of Dragon, or for the side of Minion Miners. Probably Marshall probably plays the Rexxar. But no, that's actually not a bad idea. I you know, honestly, like when I got those made for me, like when I first started streaming, you know, and I probably got affiliated, dude, I fell in love with the artist, like fell in love with the artist design. It was so good. Like, let's make sure I reframe that. I didn't fall in love with the artist, fell in love with the artist design. So make sure I clarify that one. So we do get a Maya ban, respect ban again. They might try banning out Sugar again potentially, which is their flex player. So match ready is looking to ban out maybe the Uther to negate a double support comp, which can be very, very annoying on this map. Or Lucio, because Lucio is pretty annoying on this map. So they are going to ban out the Uther, which does leave up the Lucio. And when you look at the tank pool on the side of match ready, besides Varian, there really is no direct counter. What flavor is my juice? I believe it's pineapple and mango. I want to say it's pineapple and mango. Reminds me of RuneScape or Zelda. So, okay. The gnomes are inspired from RuneScape. Because I do play a lot of RuneScape. I did play a lot of RuneScape. I'm taking a little break right now because Diablo 2 is having my entire attention, so I don't want to waste any membership. So I like to play it on my off time. Or in between HOTS matches for RuneScape or now Diablo 2. So we do get a Sonya ban inside of Minion Miners, which, you know, they do know that Grace does play it, but overall is a great pick. So let's see. Let's see what you are going to pick first pick. So we are going to get a Li Ming first pick by Cold Fashion here. Li Ming's really good on this map. Get a lot of poke inside the objective, which is your bottom shrines. And here's the Lucio, as we were talking about. You know, Westcraw does play Lucio and Chromie. Chromie is really good. But with Lucio, if you go see, here's the thing about it. I would not go Varian only because of the fact if this Lucio player understands how to use high five, everything that you do with the Varian comp is completely useless. It does not matter. You get a burst 500 heal, and then you get a cleanse, right? I mean, you can still kill them, but you're playing into it. You know, you're clearly playing into it. You're the ones who told me there were free. Yeah, there were. I remember that. So we are going to get ETC Greymane. We have seen this comp before back on the first map that we have played. Let's see what our last bans are going to be. So Minion Miner is the last ban selection. They do need a healer, so they might be looking at Anna to ban or Stukov, one of the two here. They do ban Anna because they don't want to deal with a nano boosted Li Ming, which Lucio just cannot keep up with. That's just too much damage. And also, if you get a nice sleep on anyone, especially the Lucio, you're just going to get obliterated. You know, a lot of setup combo here. And now on the side of Match Ready, let's see what they pick. Shattering Throw. I mean, who would, you know, what shield is there? So they do ban out the Falstad. Really good because you can play Falstad in mid and gank bottom or top, more or less top onto Grace at top lane, which you've seen other matches against Falstad players. They do prio the off lane, which makes sense, right? You want to overthrow into a 1v1 into a 2v1. So let's see what we get here as a main tank. So we get a Sylvanas here and a Thrall. So Himibo is going to select last pick for tank here. And now we are going to get a Thrall. So let's think about that, right? What can Grace go against the Thrall? Thrall is has a lot of presence for PvP perspective, but does not have a lot of macro presence. So Thrall can be beaten easily if you decide what you want to play. Do you want to play someone who's better in the PvP aspect? Sonya beats Thrall right now, but Sonya's banned. We're going to get Stukov, and we are going to get a Leo. So we are going to get sustainability with heals, and we are going to get better wave clear. If Grace plays this correctly, Thrall is pretty much useless in the offlane. I mean, you're obviously going to have to fight on that top point every now and then, but realistically, if your 4-man can win the bottom, doesn't matter. So we are going to get a Deathwing. We are going to get a Deathwing yet again, pretty much against the same comp here as we saw in the first game. And so let's see who takes the series here, guys. We have a very good series here. I'm excited. As a caster, I'm excited to see a game number 3. Now, as you know, the enemy teams here, especially Match Ready, when they had the 1-0 lead, trying to get the 2-0 lead, I would not be excited because I was like, dang, this should have been ours. But good stuff on the side of Minion Miners for keeping us for game number 3. Great stuff with the Cho'Gall comp. So now, as we can see, Dragonshire, this can be played this could either be a really quick game depending on the rotations and how they take their camps and how they pressure the lanes, or it can be a really long one. It can take a while because if both teams match one another, they can do really well here. All right, everybody. Game number 3. We do not get to say that often, and let's introduce the last time for Match Ready and Minion Miners for game number 3. We have Leoric being played by Grace, Li Ming being played by Cold Fashion, ETC being played by Teal, Greymane being played by Sugar Bear, and Stukov being played by Paper Wall. And now introducing Minion Miners, Deathwing being played by Himibo, Chromie being played by Marshall, Lucio being played by Westcraw, Thrall being played by Murderin, and Sylvanas being played by Sir Mac of Cheese. So let's see how they respond. They're going to go straight up mid, do a classic 5v5 here. Let's see, Key. Not sure about the Deathwing into Leo and Greymane. Yeah, I'm curious about that one too. Actually, I would have liked to see a Murden. I'd like to see Joe Murden, though, I like Murden because of where he's at in the meta and what he can do against a team like this. But we are going to see the Greymane jump onto the Deathwing here when Chromie is going to start poking out the middle of the lane. But Stukov is immediately looking at the Sylvanas here, but misses the sleep or the silence root combo essentially, even though it's not root yet. But a nice 5-man power slide through the Deathwing. We'll count that though. And at least this time we won't have to see an Anna try sleeping a big dragon with that chunky armor. We are going to see a split off here. As you would see here, they're going to try stopping the rotation here. If someone's going to rotate aggressively, yeah, as Lucio, right? You can rotate, right, on their side of the map because there is no direct counter to you. I mean, obviously, if you get slept and rooted, right, that is a thing. But you can stall rotations if you're good enough and can predict an ETC power slide and whatnot, right? Which, if you're a really good Lucio player, you can do that. And Lucio is going to start looking to be aggressive on Grace here, but you know, Grace can get out with a nice E and can also heal himself up, but you are looking aggressively for the side of Minion Miners here. Deathwing chunking out the ETC, and I don't think Match Ready should know that there is not all of them down bottom, and Greymane and Li Ming are looking aggressive on the Deathwing here, but does Sugar step up way too high? Do the Assassins get punished here? And I think they do, and they might. No, but Lucio trying to get the final hits in. ETC gets a nice power slide to negate any jump onto the Greymane. Very, very fortunate that there was no turnaround because Li Ming was playing really close as well. So both teams take their siege camp here. There, you know, looks like a very slight lead towards Minion Miners here, and potentially, let's see who has it. So Grace does have a nice XP lead, but overall, you have on the side of Minion Miners are soaking a bit more in the 4-man. Which is easily caught back up. You see Greymane catching mid, potentially was called or didn't notice it, and now you have 4. And again, now look, now they're back in the game here, right? XP is now back, Greymane is now rotating because the lanes will just even out in mid, but Greymane is coming back down, looking to be aggressive. They're the team fight here. Himibo coming down with Deathwing, and Greymane taking some damage here, but here comes the Deathwing chunking out the Greymane here. Greymane looking for a lot of damage on the Sylvanas, but both Assassins are getting low due to the damage for damage here, and ETC getting kind of low as well, but gets immediately trait value by the Stukov here. Burst heal, but keep that in mind. If you're on the side of Minion Miners, you can look to be aggressive. You look for a tap here, and you look for a re-engage here because they don't have any burst heals. They only have, you know, your overtime passive heals, as you can see by Paper Wall, spreading around the heals, right? ETC holding on the choke, but it catches the Sylvanas here, but I don't think it's really going to matter. You're taking a lot of damage if you're on playing ETC, but it doesn't really matter because the Dragon Knight is taken and they do get away, and that is Leo taking the first Dragon Knight. Thrall, again, as we were talking about, Thrall can't keep up with the wave clear by the Leo here, and here we go. Leoric is going to start poking down bottom. Honestly, at this point, you probably could have just went mid and take the value here because now you're just not doing anything with this. Like, there is no point to go bottom just to go back up mid, right? You're still just going to press you like a bunch of fire ants, and even though it was an early Dragon Knight, it was kind of not really worth it, in my opinion. You honestly could have just got more value in mid instead of just dragging it to them down bottom. But here we go. Mid's now going to have the entire minion wave crashing onto the fort wall inside of Match Ready here, and you are going to potentially start looking at bruiser camps here on the side of Match Ready, which is being called now. Greymane and Lee are going to go right on it, ETC catching the mid wave, so the XP is pretty much the same. And if you are the Thrall, you did complete your level 1 quest, which is really good. Now you get 2 Qs, 2 Echo of Elements. So yeah, I agree, Pog. Yeah, should have gone mid. That was really not really cash money in my opinion here. But now Thrall can do a bit of poke damage, get some heals up. Yeah, good mixed mana tide for the sustainability in lane and Ancestral Wrath, but use the Ancestral Wrath a little bit early on the Leo here, but you know, with that being said, you can you know, catch it up. Thrall does suspect potentially, again, you know, Chromie suspects it, and they are going to push out the top lane. I honestly think that you just need to send Leo mid to bottom here. Like, you don't need Li Ming down bottom here. The rotation's a bit slow on the side of Match Ready here. Now Li Ming is just freezing the lane here, and that can be on purpose because if you freeze the lane, you're getting a lot of XP towards side of Minion Miners, which is good too. And then you can just get a free clear on top while Grace will get the free mid soak, and while Li Ming is just, like I said, freezing bot lane, getting all the XP without giving any advantage to the side of Minion Miners. Now if you're on the side of Match Ready, you don't really need the fight here. Just get out, right? Leo's taking a lot of damage here, gets stunned out, so Grace is just a nice guy walking to DK because they were out of position. Unfortunate. But due to the freezing down bottom, and they do catch a Thrall potentially up top. Here comes a body block by ETC. Yeah, Thrall should fall here. But if you're on the side of Minion Miners, you should be able to take this bottom camp. But as you guys just saw, right, the Thrall did really well with this build, right? Keeping himself alive for a lot longer. You saw this health bar chunking up from middle to low to back up to middle health. But see, that's the power of Echo of Elements. So get a lot of heal value in the late game, and the level 16 talent, it just does a lot of burst damage. I like that talent build, especially if I don't want to be up in their face as a Thrall. There's several talents you can go as Thrall. That's why I really like him. So we are going to see side of match ready play for 10 here. They'll get it first, and ETC is showing aggression onto the Sylvanas to take the camp. It's a great idea because, you know, you should fight for this. You are 10. Here comes a 3-man mosh pit. Great mosh pit into a silence here, and Stukov gets interrupted on the silence here. But great mosh pit by the ETC, catching 3 of them and getting 2. Unfortunately, you didn't get the Lucio here, but it doesn't matter. This is a fast cap. You should be trying to fast cap this now. And finally, ETC hits a nice mosh pit. No flame intended, because every time we see a mosh pit go off, it's right before death. Flame intended. Much love. And you're going to see Greymane going straight bottom to right the Bruiser camp here, because, you know, there's going to be a stall up top here. This might have been a Q build main game. Potentially, because the Deathwing is playing really high, and you're getting a lot of damage, and ETC is going to basically put himself between the objective and the enemy team here. Sylvanas is camping mid to negate any pressure, but again, if you're on the side of match ready, you don't even need to go up the objective here. You got the bottom Bruisers. You can start looking to be a little aggressive here. Here comes Slowing Sands to negate the Bruiser camp, but with that being said, you're starting to take pressure onto the wall, right? It's slow chip damage at a time here. And mid is going to be completely missed, but it's okay because you are getting a lot of value mid, and you do see Sylvanas again sitting mid, not really doing anything, right? Doesn't know where the team's at. Now, there should be a call out to the side of match ready. They're going immediately mid here, and here comes Chromie scouting this out. And do they get the power slide on him? But problem is there's no follow, and they should not be able to get the Dragon Knight here. Li Ming can't stay on there. Probably would have died and not have even gotten the objective here. Now you're going to see a rotation back bottom. I mean, you can continuously keep putting pressure. Lucio is doing what he does best, being a nuisance here, and Chromie gets completely dove upon. But here comes a sound barrier with the fear, bellowing roar, I believe is what it's called, by the Deathwing here to negate all that incoming damage. But with incoming damage, you know that you can start putting pressure elsewhere. So you have 15 seconds on your siege camp. You have no time left. You have the Bruiser camp spawning here, but they are going to start pressuring bottom here, poking it out. But the biggest thing is there in the bottom lane, there is no well, right? So here comes Li Ming consistently poking out, being the sieger that Li Ming can be, getting free damage onto the Deathwing here. Consistent damage here. So now looking at level 10 also, while we have a little bit of time here, ETC stepping up is what I like to see here is Sundering. Sundering can be a big game changer. ETC missing the slide on Thrall, but, or excuse me, on Chromie here. But you do see a bullet go out at Deathwing here, but Leo, with barely any health, is going into this team fight. Potentially he's looking to attune the Deathwing here, and they should be able to get a stun here, and Deathwing does go down and fall. Thrall is really late through rotation here, but Sylvanas is catching the mind control on the Greymane here, but does nothing with it. Chromie is looking to poke out the Stukov here in the back line, but here comes Li Ming poking out the Sylvanas and Chromie right back. And again, now you have the lanes, right? You have you have Liart going mid and gonna go soak that back up top. And here comes the ETC power slide, misses and catches the one-man mosh pit next to a Lucio that just completely boops him away. The idea was there, but probably not really worth it. But with the level 13 talent, you can take a 120-second cooldown. If 120-second cooldown down to about, like, save yourself a minute, right? If you consistently get value. But a nice silence by the Chromie, so the Chromie can't do any more chip damage here. And good W by the ETC pushing out the Lucio. And again, as Deathwing has fallen and came back up, he is now back down to half health. A lot of damage on the Deathwing. Greymane looking to soak mid here. Play for your 16s here. Leo, oh, did not see how Leo died. They completely missed that. But doing what Leo does best, soaking his life back with his trait value. Greymane looking to be really aggressive on Lucio. Lucio is way too high out, trying to take bottom by himself without having any vision. So great catch by the Greymane and ETC, and now you should be able to start putting pressure. This was an unfortunate misplay, unfortunate by the Lucio, just because of the fact that now they are getting to get an objective, and they start looking mid here. You have pressure down bottom here, and you're gonna have a Deathwing potentially gonna Cataclysm over the wall, Cataclysm over the wall, get some pressure, and there should be a bullet immediately on the Deathwing here. Deathwing can't really heal. Deathwing does retaliate and does get pushed back to the Thrall here, and you're on the side of match ready. You just gotta keep poking down the mid fort here, get as much value as you can, because look at the damage that's going on to the Dragon here. Sunder might have been casted here, but that might be just way too far for the Sunder to get really any value. And that's all being said and done, Leo is just soaking top, doing what he does best, and just staying in the lane, mopping the waves like Mr. Clean does in every commercial that we see. And we are going to get bruiser camps immediately started by the side of match ready. Grayson still soak with his trait, that counts as vision. Oh, there is a complete Entomb, but ETC misses the power side, should W the Thrall back here. There really isn't mana, but great. Oh, that's unfortunate. Great solo mosh pit, but the level 13 W for these Encore pushes them back out of the mosh, but then Murder and runs right back in, which is unlucky. So as you were saying, Geo, Grace can still soak with his trait. He can't soak, but he gets vision with this trait. So now we have a nice engage, and Deathwing should take a lot of damage here, and Li Ming gets a lot of poke damage, but Greymane gets the final hit off, and great kill onto the Deathwing here. Leo is now soaking mid, potentially going to start soaking down bottom. Senior Mac of Cheese is just trying to get his team right back to 16 here, getting a lot of some soak down here. And guys, as you should know here, never go on the death bridges here. This is where, you have a fat lead and your team starts to throw. And, oh, it's too late. He's caught. It's over. And doesn't realize that he just, well, it wasn't worth it. Let's just say that. You should have just got your soak when you could have, right? And as you start seeing, as soon as this fort fell, you honestly should have just started running away. So I found this out of Minion Myers. Unfortunately, the overextension is pretty much the best way to say is what's really hurting them. The Lucio getting caught out down here, the Sylvanas now getting caught out here. They need to take an even talent tier fight. This is probably going to be one of their only chances for the next, I'd probably say the next 2-3 minutes before they hit 20. So once Syl gets up, now, go outside of Minion Miners, you shouldn't be able to lose this objective just yet. Actually, you probably will. Chromie should be able to stall out mid, maybe. Now, ETC is going to immediately go. And Thrall is going to try pushing up some pressure on the Greymane here, but ETC should be able to free cap this, which unfortunate timing of death, just like we saw in the Lucio and Sylvanas. It's unfortunate timing because it was right before an objective. Match ready is looking really good. They're starting to go straight down to bottom here, and as they should here, because there is no pressure here yet. And it's great because Leo's going to start getting the soak here, get some health globes for his team, and ETC should start being able to poke down the bottom wall here. Now, if you're on the side of Minion Miners, what do? Are you going to fight behind this? Is Thrall going to flank from back here? Grace is holding on to this point because he knows Thrall may look for a flank here. But they should be able to see Thrall shortly here. There's a bullet immediately casted onto the Deathwing here. Deathwing is getting really low. Here comes a nice stun coming up, but they are just going to keep poking down the keep wall here. It's just respectively so, right? You just play for 20 here. Chromie might time trap, potentially. No, there isn't. But if you're outside Minion, you need to fight. Like, you have to fight for 20 here to get any chance. And there comes a lot of damage here. They do catch the Chromie. Chromie gets an 8-second cooldown of the time of the invulnerability here. Timeout, that's what it's called. And they do get away. And Minion Miners, what are you going to do here, right? You don't have sound barrier, but it is pre-20. Are you going to look for the fight here after this bruiser camp? Hopefully we get to see in the next 30 seconds. So we do see, ooh, Tempest Fury for the level 16 talent. It's a little interesting only because of the fact that, with this level 1 talent, you can do a lot of damage, with that Q ability. Consistent poke, right? Consistent pokes, and ETC is one of the weakest tanks on the roster for tank pools, or not tank pools, for the tank category. You could easily poke down ETC with a nice Q build, because it's pretty easy to complete. I think it's only five or six stacks you need to hit separate heroes, and he does chunk damage. So let's see if this Tempest Fury does pay off. You know, I have seen other people take it. I'm not sure if it got buffed or not. I used to like it back in the old E build days, but Q build Thrall is still pretty strong. It turns it into kind of like a mage build, but he still can get up in your face and fight because he is, you know, he is Thrall. He's Thrall. So if you're on the side of Minion Miners, you got to play a little passive now because you waited for the 20. And they are just going to get the soak and back off here. Your probably best bet is to look at top and wait for that to crash in. ETC is looking for a nice rotation to see if anyone's going to rotate aggressively. And they do see the Sylvanas here. They did try to get a repulsion to back up, but Thrall instantly cast. Thumbs up. I feel like no percent damage W at 16 hertz. It does. Alpha Wolf. So there's two builds that I go. I go the Q build, which is your poke, or you go the W build with the level 1 talent. I can't remember the name of it, but it does overall a lot of percent damage, right? Like you can one-shot any tank with basically any tank with that build because you're doing like I think 15% damage a hit, right, for maximum health. It's really good. But I do think in this case both builds would have been fine, but I think if you're going to commit to, you know, this talent, then at 16 you got to get that damage value there to crank up the damage, because Thrall is the late game hero with both those, especially with this talent. So we shall see how they do this. They are going to poke down bottom keep here. They're not going to go for the objective here, and for the side of Minion Miners, this might be your saving grace. You probably send Thrall mid, just get as much soak as you can, like somewhere. You need soak. Like, you just need to get 20 here. But this time of match ready, you need to immediately take advantage of this 20 threshold here that you have, a 20 to 19 deficit, and you just start looking to get a nice quick cap. So they are going to take bottom bruisers here, which you should see Minion Miners immediately go for 20. All right. So there is no fast cap yet, but 20 is here. Do they make it in time? ETC is looking for a rotation and doesn't see the team yet. Don't know where they're at. Chromie should be able to poke out, or Thrall. ETC is aggressively stepping up, but so does Deathwing, but Deathwing does not get the stall out here. And now they're going to push bottom here. Is this potentially, you know, I know this is definitely keep here. Should be keep. But can they make a play? From the side of Minion Miners, what are you going to do here, right? Are you going to fight behind? Are you going to fight by the core? You have to make a play here. So Himibo is looking to chunk the Dragonite here with the Bruiser Wave coming up here. ETC is posturing a little high, looking for a great slide, and Deathwing gets immediately bulleted again to the face. Consistent bullets to the face is a lot of damage here. And here comes the ETC Mosh Pit, but does get silenced by the core here. And ETC's Death Mosh gets no value here, but there is a death on Deathwing. Can they stall here? There's a 2-mana Mosh here, but Thrall gets killed, and Li Ming gets a nice combo on the Chromie here. Now Leo falls as well. Sugar is low, but you do have 2 assassins and a healer. There's a lot of big damage coming at the Sylvanas and Chromie. Can Cold Fashion do what Li Ming does best? Can he do a lot of damage? No, they leave. They only get the shields down. So if it's not a Minion Miners, this is a breath of fresh air, because you still have a chance. Although you lost the keep, you're still in the game here. ETC Mosh Pit underneath the core here, completely disrespecting the core and not respecting the stun that the core can do to you. Unfortunate. So let's see. Again, as I've said in the beginning of the game, this game will either go early through complete domination or goes late game, and it's still anybody's game, right? But there is a lot of aggression. There will be some aggression coming up on the side of Match Ready onto their Bruiser camp here. Silence looking, Paper Wall looking like he was planning on silencing, but Minion Miners is not scared. They know that they have their, you know, it's close to their side, but immediately looking down for bottom siege camp, looking to continuously apply pressure. And the reason why, by the way, guys, I could neglected to say this all game, but bottom lane on Dragonshire is one of the most important lanes, if not the most important lane, because you have 1, 2, 3 ways of applying pressure to bottom, especially when you have no keep. Now, even though that this did not get any value, right, with pushing to the core, you get vision of the enemy team, right? Like, they have to either clear this, and then you get vision on the team, because you have your fort and keep advantage. So there will be always a catapult coming up pushing, and then you have bruisers pushing up top here. So both lanes here, right, both of the ends here looking really good, or all of them, excuse me. But like I was saying, bottom is always really important on Dragonshire. The Leo's looking to fast cap top. No one's down bottom yet. They don't know where everyone's at. You know, they should now see Lucio and the Greymane or in the Chromie here. This is probably where Thrall should be at, and Chromie and Lucio should be bottom. ETC completely skips past the Deathwing here. Bullet is probably going to be casted out onto the Deathwing here. Combo goes out. But is this an overextension? They are going to try focusing on the Greymane here, but Repulsion does come out, and ETC does get stunned out and might be the target here to get complete annihilation. They're looking for a Death Mosh here, but they do catch him, and Death Mosh is not catching one, but Himibo, the Deathwing, gets caught inside the Entomb, but Thrall is looking to do a lot of damage on the Leo here. This might be the misplay. And here comes a Bolt of the Storm. They do kill the Leo here. This is a big uh-oh. Uh-oh. ETC dies, gets no value from the Death Mosh here, was looking for something, but I think in this situation, you really didn't need to be, you know, honestly, you really didn't even need to be here, right? You know, on the side of Minion Miners, you know they're going to rotate, right? You know that. But if you're on the side of Match Ready, you need to look for a nice kill on top, which they do. Sending up Lucio, honestly, you control one, right? And you know that they're going to do some damage somewhere else. So Thrall is completely overextended as well. These are some isolated picks here. Thrall may fall. Thrall may have Bolt of the Storm, maybe. Oh, it's just going on that. 80. Nah, he won't have it yet. But catching Lucio is really good for Match Ready because now you get to negate. Leo is now defending mid. Chromie knows it. And you're not going to be able to take bottom here. But now, what's the question here? Do you take Bruisers here? Or are you going to defend this? They are trying to look for a nice silence on Senior Mac and Cheese, seeing if he would be very aggressive here. They are looking for a rotation here. And Leo gets stunned out by the Sunder here because Leo's looking for the engage, but misses the Entomb here. But Thrall is to caught out by Leo. Oh, the Repulsion pushes out the Sylvanas, but it doesn't matter because he does get annihilated by the Leaning, but you see Leo going straight for the objective here. This honestly might be GG. It is a 1-for-5 here. You're going to see the Dragonite now go bottom with a lot of pressure here, right? You have 2 Katas, 3 coming up shortly, and let's see if Minion Miners can hold again. Thrall is looking to step up and be a little aggressive here, but here's the thing, guys. ETC might be your ticket in. Whoever is more aggressive here, because if you do get moshed, you know, you have the Deathwing's Bellowing Roar. Lucio gets kicked back, but you get an immediate bullet onto the onto Deathwing here. Thrall in the back line. This is his tap here. They are focusing down the core here. You do see a nice silence onto the Chromie here. ETC trying to follow up on the Chromie here, but this should be game. This should be GG. And game number 3 goes to the side of Match Ready. Congratulations on a job well